Hi, I'm George, the Weather Dad, and we're going to be talking about this week and into next week. The one thing for sure is it's going to be hot. But not only hot, it's also going to be extremely humid. So if you're going to be out and about, take it easy out there. The heat indices could be into triple digits right here in the Midwest, certainly to the south and a little bit even further to the west. All right, let's take a look at your Wednesday, and it's going to be very, very hot here. You can see the very dark colors. Remember, yellow is normal high temperature right here in the Ohio Valley in the lower 80s at the moment. Where you see some yellow in this area, where you're going to have some cloud cover and some rain around the area. Staying relatively chilly, though, out in the Pacific Northwest. Here on Thursday, very, very hot again. Southerly winds, the humidity is going to be extremely high, and we're going to see a lot of heat again around the area. But we're also going to be in a somewhat of a stormy weather pattern. You'll see that on the precipitation map. Here on Friday, you do see some yellow starting to pop in. That's going to reflect some showers around the area. But again, keep in mind the humidity levels are still going to be very high, and temperatures are still going to be around normal, even a little bit above normal. That'll put us in our area, at least in the 80s. I wouldn't be surprised if we see 90s both here on Wednesday and on Thursday right here in the Ohio Valley and portions of the Midwest. On Saturday, temperatures are going to be a little bit warmer. Once again, I think Saturday might be the nicest summery type of day where you're going to have a lot of heat and maybe not as far as cloud cover is concerned, quite a bit of sunshine. But you can see there again, still pretty warm across most of the area. Here on Sunday, we're starting to see another system moving in, more yellow colors showing up. Again, that's reflecting cloud cover and some rain right here in the Ohio Valley. And then by next Wednesday, things change a little bit more. We're going to see a little bit more of a northerly flow, so we may break the heat a little bit by the middle of next week. We'll have to keep an eye on that. And what I mean by heat is that we'll drop down into the 70s instead of staying in the 80s and possibly even some lower 90s. Notice a batch of some yellow colors down in the southeast. They're going to have quite a bit of rain. Precipitation-wise, here on Wednesday, it'll be ending right here in the Ohio Valley. Could see a little bit of severe weather in Kentucky, Tennessee, and up into the Appalachian Mountains. But notice, though, there's quite a bit of precipitation across the northern states, and that's reflecting a fairly active weather pattern. Here on Thursday, I think this might be a little bit overdone. I'm not seeing that much rain here on Thursday at this point in time, at least right here in the Ohio Valley. I think this could be a little bit further north. Could look like maybe a little bit of severe weather around Wisconsin, Minnesota, northern Illinois, heading on into Michigan. And that again is your Friday. On into the weekend, or Friday, I should say, that next frontal system will push its way through, and that's going to dry us out, I think, on Saturday. So it looks like here on Friday, we could be looking at some showers, possibly even a few strong thunderstorms out there, so kind of keep a weather eye out. Here on Saturday, as I said, it looks like it's going to be fairly dry, but it's going to be hot and humid. So if you have any soccer games, baseball games, or you're going to be out and about, take it easy out there. Make sure you're hydrated. Here comes the next bit of energy out in the central U.S. And as we head on into Sunday, that starts getting itself act together. That's going to push its way in. I think Sunday could start dry here in the Ohio Valley, but then that will change as the day goes on. But also here comes another bit of energy, and that could help bring in some cooler air for next week. And then by next Wednesday, lots of rain down along the southeast. Here comes that next shot of some cooler air, and again, or mild air, if you will. Again, it's not going to be anything cold. It's just going to be a little bit more pleasant, knocking down the humidity a little bit, possibly by the middle of next week. So here's your takeaway. It's going to be very hot and humid over the next 5 days or so, so be careful out there, and it's going to be a little bit on the stormy side as well. Saturday, though, looks like the best day of the upcoming weekend. I'm George, the Weather Dad.